All right, Cowboys Nation. Buckle up because we're diving deep into a full Dallas Cowboys roster projection, breaking it down position by position, and trust me, there's a lot to unpack. So if you're ready for a no-holds-barred, unfiltered take on how this roster might shake out, let's get into it. Let's start under center because everything the Cowboys hope to accomplish in the 2025 season hinges on one thing: the health of Dak Prescott. If he stays upright, the offense can hum. If not, well, things get dicey. Prescott remains the unquestioned starter, and there's no controversy there. But behind him, you've got two very different backup options: Will Grier and Joe Milton. Grier is your classic vibes guy. He's not really expected to start, but he's the kind of teammate who makes the locker room better, helps the starter prepare, and brings stability on the sidelines. You hope he never sees the field, but if he does, you just hope he doesn't implode. Then there's Joe Milton, the developmental project with a cannon for an arm and a lot to learn. He'll be fun to watch in preseason games, throwing bombs and making plays with his legs, but he's not ready to take over yet. He's raw, and the learning curve is steep. Still, there's potential there. But again, none of this matters if number 4 isn't healthy, because without Dak, the whole house of cards collapses. Now let's talk about the running back room, because things are looking very different from last season. The Cowboys brought in Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, both on one-year deals, which is basically NFL speak for prove it or pack it. They also added rookies Jaden Blue and Phil Maffa, drafted Deuce Vaughn, and brought back Hunter Luque. But here's the truth. Nobody outside of maybe Jaden Blue has anything even close to resembling a guaranteed spot. The contracts are cheap, the expectations are fluid, and the competition is wide open. Javonte Williams hasn't looked the same since that nasty knee injury. And while he brings value in pass protection, and as a third down back, he's going to have to prove he still has burst. Can he be better in Dallas? Maybe, but it's a question, not a certainty. Then you got Miles Sanders, a guy who once looked electric in Philadelphia but failed to deliver in Carolina. Was that a one-off, or is he just a product of his surroundings? That's the million-dollar question. If you're counting on him to be the guy he was in 2022, you might end up disappointed. Then there's Jaden Blue, a sneaky name to watch. He's young, explosive, and could very well emerge as the top back if things fall his way. But can he handle the workload? Can he be a true RB1 and carry the ball 200 times a season? That's something we just don't know yet. And let's not forget about Linebacker. As a fullback, his role is unique, and that could help him stick on the roster even if he's not seeing a lot of carries. But again, the competition is tight. It wouldn't be a shock to see the Cowboys make another move here, especially if training camp reveals that Javonte and Sanders have truly lost a step. Switching over to wide receivers, this is where things got spicy in a hurry. A few weeks ago, this unit had more questions than answers, but now you've got CeeDee Lamb holding down the WR1 role as usual, and the Cowboys went out and brought in George Pickens. That changes everything. Sure, there are some whispers about his attitude, maturity, and locker room presence, but let's be real. When he's dialed in, he's a problem for defenses. With Lamb and Pickens, the Cowboys suddenly have one of the top wide receiver duos in the league. That's not hype, that's just facts. Behind him, though, the depth is still a work in progress. Jalen Tolbert looks shaky as a number 2. But as a number 3, that's a whole different story. You can live with that. Then there's Kevontae Turpin, who's more of a gadget guy than a traditional wideout, but he brings speed and versatility, especially on special teams. Jonathan Mingo is still developing, but you can see flashes. And after that, it's a battle royale. Names like Jalen Brooks, Tyron Billy Johnson, Kelvin Harmon, and Josh Kelly are all fighting for maybe 1 or 2 spots on the active roster, plus a couple more on the practice squad. If you're a receiver looking to make a name for yourself, this is where you better show up and show out. Moving over to tight end, not a lot has changed here, but there are still things to keep an eye on. Jake Ferguson is back and should be the top guy, but he needs to bounce back after a so-so 2024 season. He didn't look as explosive, struggled a bit early on, and maybe added a little too much weight trying to become a better blocker. He needs to get back to the version of himself we saw in 2023, the one who could find soft spots in zone coverage, fight for yards after the catch, and give Dak a reliable safety valve over the middle. If that Ferguson shows up, this offense gets a serious boost. Luke Schoonmaker is still around, but he hasn't exactly separated himself. And then there's the undrafted guys. Every year it seems like Dallas finds some hidden gem at tight end, whether it was Peyton Hendershot, John Stevens, or someone else. Could it be Rivaldo Fairweather this year? Maybe Tyler Neville? They've got a shot, especially with the Cowboys' history of leaning on young, cheap talent at this position. But it all starts with Ferguson. He needs to be that dude again. Now, let's dig into the offensive line, the foundation of any good team. Barring injury, the starting five looks pretty locked in. You got Tyler Guyton at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard, Cooper Beebe at center, Tyler Booker at right guard, and Terrence Steele locking down the right tackle spot. That's a solid group on paper. But if we're being honest, the success of this unit might come down to one guy, Tyler Guyton. Guyton has the tools, the size, the strength, the athleticism. It's all there. But he was wildly inconsistent last season. Technically, he's got a long way to go. He dips his head too much in pass protection, loses leverage, and you could see his confidence waver as the year went on. That can't happen again. If he struggles, the whole line could start to unravel. Offensive line play is like a chain. One weak link can mess up everything. The good news? His issues are fixable. The bad news? They haven't been fixed yet. And until they are, you have to be a little nervous. The backup situation is still shaking out, but Brock Hoffman should make the team. Austin Richards and Robert Jones are likely in as well. Then you've got names like A.J. Cornelius, T.J. Bass, Nathan Thomas, and veterans like Sadiq Charles and Ife Obada. Guys who might not stick, but who could give you just enough competence in the preseason to keep your young quarterbacks alive. And honestly, that might be their biggest contribution, helping Joe Milton stay upright long enough to be evaluated properly. Switching sides of the ball, let's go inside to the defensive tackle group. At the 3-tech spot, Osa Odigizua is your starter. Behind him, you've got Solomon Thomas, who can still give you valuable rotational snaps, and Denzel Daxon, who might just be a practice squad stash. Tommy Akingbisort is a name to watch, but realistically, he's probably not ready for primetime yet. The bigger question is at nose tackle. Maisie Smith is the presumed starter, and the Cowboys are giving him every opportunity to prove himself. But let's be honest, the jury is still out. He was better against the run last year, but better doesn't mean good. He needs to take a serious leap forward, or the team might have to start reevaluating that investment. Jay Toya and Justin Rogers are interesting depth pieces, especially Toya, who had a higher pre-draft grade than where he was picked. But it's rare for 7th rounders to make an instant impact on the interior. If Mazi doesn't step up, this group could be in trouble, especially against teams that love to run between the tackles. And now we head to the edge rushers, a spot where the Cowboys have invested serious resources. Micah Parsons leads the group, and if you don't think he deserves to get paid this offseason, I don't know what to tell you. Just get the deal done and stop playing games. Behind him, there's Dante Fowler on a short-term deal, and then a bunch of guys with either recent draft capital or developmental upside. Donovan Ezeraku, Marshawn Nealand, Sam Williams, and Peyton Turner. That's 6 guys who probably make the team. And it's a pretty solid rotation. Don't expect to see Micah or Fowler much in the preseason. Same for Nealand and maybe even Ezeraku. That means a ton of snaps for the bubble guys like Luigi Villain and Ernest Brown, guys trying to earn a practice squad spot or maybe sneak onto the roster with a monster camp. But the core 6 seem locked in. At linebacker, it's a crowded room, but also kind of fragile. DeMarvion Overshown won't be ready for week 1 due to injury, so his status is already in limbo. That opens the door for new additions like Kenneth Murray, Shamar James, and Jack Sanborn to step in and prove they belong. Returning players like Malik Jefferson, Damone Clark, and Devin Harper are all in the mix too. The final spot might come down to special teams, who can contribute in the third phase and make enough noise to justify keeping 6 guys instead of 5. It's a battle that will come down to preseason reps and joint practices. Nobody here, outside of maybe Clark, is truly safe. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Star quarterback Josh Allen has signed a 3-year contract with the Dallas Cowboys in a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL. the former Buffalo Bills star, known for his powerful arm, mobility, and leadership on the field, is now set to wear the iconic star on his helmet, signaling a new era for one of the league's most storied franchises. The deal, finalized earlier this week, marks one of the most high-profile quarterback moves in recent memory. After spending 6 seasons in Buffalo, where he transformed the Bills into perennial contenders and established himself as one of the league's elite signal callers, Allen now takes his talents to Dallas with hopes of delivering a long-awaited Super Bowl title. Sources close to the team report that the 3-year agreement is valued among the highest in the NFL, underscoring the Cowboys' belief that Allen is the missing piece in their championship puzzle. With a strong supporting cast that includes standout receivers, a solid offensive line, and an aggressive defense, Allen steps into a roster built to win now. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones expressed his excitement in a brief statement following the Hugh Lau signing. Josh Allen is a competitor and a proven leader. He brings the kind of energy and excellence we strive for in Dallas. We believe he can help us get where we want to go. The move also signals the end of the Dak Prescott era in Dallas, as the franchise turns a page and fully commits to a new direction under center. Prescott, who has been the face of the Cowboys since 2016, now becomes one of the most intriguing names on the quarterback market. For Allen, the transition offers both opportunity and pressure. The expectations in Dallas are sky high, and the fan base is desperate for postseason success after years of frustration. Allen, however, seems ready for the challenge, telling reporters, "I'm honored to be a Cowboy. I know what this franchise represents, and I'm here to win." As training camp approaches, all eyes will be on how quickly Allen can adapt to his new environment and develop chemistry with his teammates. If he does, the Cowboys could quickly become the team to beat in the NFC, and perhaps finally return to the Super Bowl spotlight that has eluded them for nearly 3 decades. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.